Okay, now we have part 3 of making a pine needle basket around a shell center. And now I'm going to teach you how to connect the second thread, the new thread on. Now you take your new piece of raffia, which you can draw through your mouth to wet, dampen, moisten. Okay. Now, what you do, you've left about 4 inches on the last side, so you come back in through that same spot again, and this time you leave about 4 inches of the new piece. Now you tie them together right under where the next row is going to go, or right on top, which will be under the next row. And tie a nice little knot there, and then she said you just twist these around, but I find they come out, so I'm going to make them into cordage. So you spin one in that direction, and then you spin the other one in that direction, and then you should be able to wrap them around each other and they will stay in place. You're making cordage. See, if they don't unravel, you've done it right. So spin them and then twist. Spin and cross. Spin and cross. Spin and cross. There. Now they're not going to unravel. And that will lay down on top of there. Okay, and then you carry on just like you've been doing. And we're now beginning row 3. Make sure you remember to add needles. I add them so they're not going to run out at exactly the same time. And I push them as far in as they'll go. Sometimes they go in a long way. Sometimes they don't. You do need to add new needles every couple stitches. Okay, now this is a new stitch I created. You see all of them are V's, but these are the new ones. So I treat them like old ones. I come in from the back on the right side of them. I come out through the front and I split them in half. This is the V stitch. And I do the very same thing again in the same hole, right beside it, making sure you're coming out on the left of it. Make sure you don't stress your raffia, but loosen it and slide it carefully up the row. This is a beautiful spot we're in. Okay, now you see on the back we have a V here. So I'm going to go in the center of the V on this side, and I'm coming up in the center of the V on that side. So what I'm actually doing is, see how what's happened here? The center of the V and the center of the V, but really I'm coming in on that side of the stitch over there and coming outside of the same stitch over here, but on the other side of it. So I've caught the stitch in my work. And so I've created a new V. I go back in and I use the same spot. I come out in the same spot again. Now I'm moving to the next one. This has not been used yet, so I'll have to come in to one side of it, capturing a third of the needles, and I'm going to split the stitch. And add more needles. Come in the back in the center of the stitch, and I come out in the middle of this one. So this is the second stitch. It's supposed to be to the side of the first stitch. You don't want them on the wrong side of it. Looks like I have twisted them over inside. There. No, that didn't work, did it? Okay. Now you see we've got a new stitch here. So we're going to go in through that. Split it in the back, and we'll split it in the front. Remember that you're making a V inside a V on the back as well as on the front. Make sure these are spread out a bit. See how it starts to get fatigued? So you don't want to just pull it like you would through a needle, a piece of thread. You want to move it up the edge without putting any stress on it. Well, are you following along with this? How is this? How are you doing with this now? what a mess. Just because some of these have split into additional spots. Whoa, what a mess. What a mess, what a mess, what a mess. You could have done a lot better than that. Outside looks pretty good. Yeah, I would suggest you get that book by Judy Mallow. Because I make mistakes that she doesn't. Wonder if that's a search and rescue plane. I mean helicopter. Or if it's one that's transporting people from one hospital to the next. Or if they're out looking with their heat guns for grow ops. Now I've already done one in there, right? So now I come up in the next one. This is too far apart. So let's create a new spot here.